everybody, it's Bill Vernon, your Keller Williams agent for the Central Texas area and a rainmaker, aka the team leader, aka the I don't know, what am I?
The boss man.
There you go. The I-35 group that services Killeen, Greater Fort Hood, which means Harker Heights, Copper's Cove. We also service Temple, where Joe actually resides. Belton. We also have an office in Waco out on Lake Air, and we service the Waco area. So anything in the McLennan, in the Bell County area, we're Coryell County, the counties that touch Falls, in Milam, and so wherever you're at, we're here to help you out. Joe,
Yes,
man, what's going on?
man, that's a wild, crazy market.
Yeah, the last 2 years have been, and we were talking about this at our team meeting, where I was saying, back in the day, things took a year to develop, or 6 months and such. Now it's like every 90 days, right? What kind of interest rate? Now you're a buyer specialist, though occasionally you will sell someone's house as a listing. What are you seeing on the interest rates when your buyers are getting their interest rates?
Are you ready for this? Drum roll, please. 5.1%. Woohoo!
Yeah.
It's going up. And so if you're a buyer in this market, it is time to make a move.
Right. And because there's going to be a lot of buyers that are ready to make a move, if you need to sell a house, you want to reach out to us too. So let's look at a clean market in this video. So what are we kind of seeing going on in Joe and Killeen?
So in Killeen, and this is a big number here. So median price, Killeen, 224,000, and that's going to be 33.7% up from last year, March 2021. So that's quite a big jump.
Right. And something you and I were watching was, we were thinking, because of what happened from December to February, we saw a slight decrease, but what did we see from February to March?
Yeah, median price is going up. It's going up. Well, what do you think the reason for that is, Bill?
I think everybody is rushing to the door. We also, what are we in right now in the clean market during this time is PCS season.
Yep.
We have a lot of people, and for people that don't understand the little military lingo we just used there, that's when military are reassigned to another base. So and that typically happens during this time because people are worried about schools. And what I think also happened, and correct me if I'm wrong here, because again, you're working with a lot of buyers. Didn't PCS season kind of start earlier than?
Seemed to this year. Yeah.
I mean, you were having people reaching out to you in June and stuff that aren't going to be PCS until what, May, June? We have a July guy that was talking to us in March, and I was kind of going, man, that's kind of early, but
I mean, the buyers, they're feeling the heat of this market, and so they're kind of wanting to get on top of things early.
So where's the price distribution?
So good question. So 0 to 99,000 is a very minuscule number, 2.4%.
There is it?
Yeah, because there's hardly any listings in that price range. 100 to 200, we're sitting at just under 30% of buyers.
That's a wild number.
Yeah, so it doesn't get any better from here. 200 to 300, we're talking about almost 55% of the marketplace are sitting in that price range.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It is a wild number.
Yeah. So you can just imagine, if you're a buyer right now, probably 50% of the people looking at houses are, looking in that range. So just keep that in mind. There's a lot of competition still.
So where are the active listings at?
Active listings are down actually to 7.2% this month. 90 active listings in March 2022. And actually active right now, and here in April, we're talking about 96. Now those could have came on the market in March, but at this second right now, it's sitting at 96 active listings in Killeen.
And which kind of the phenomenal number that kind of blows me out of the water is closed sales. Where are we at there?
Closed sales, March 2022, we're sitting at 270, which that's and we're up 16% on that.
That there was this kind of pushback of people saying, hey, we have no inventory. You hear a lot about that. but I went back and looked at pre-COVID,
Yeah.
and it was roughly that 270.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so is the question that we have no inventory, or what is days on market looking like?
Days on market total 48 days. 20 days on market, days to close 28 for a total of 48. Yeah, and you bring up a good point. Is it a lack of inventory, or is it more competition and more buyers out there?
And that's the key.
Yeah.
That's what is out there. Because we have more buyers, not less inventory.
Yep. Yep.
Now,
And yeah.
people will say, is that a chicken and egg kind of conversation? Which, but I don't know about you, Joe. It's showing to me that there's just a lot more buyers out there.
Yeah, and as a buyer's agent, it really feels like it's almost ramped up a little bit in the last month or two as well. Just as far as, amount of offers that are getting put into houses and stuff like that.
So yeah, that days on market was actually less than 13 days in 2021, right? So now it's kind of interesting. I always look at that days on market and it says 20. Joe, what do you know about your team? What are the days on market for your team's listings?
It is significantly less than that. We're talking less, probably less than 10 days on market. What do you think?
Right.
Can you give us a more accurate number on that?
I think usually what we're looking at is about 4 to 5.
Yeah.
Where we have an offer we're accepting. Now, sometimes it takes a little coaching with our clients. So we might end up with a day 6 or 7. But that's typically, and that's because we work hard, we pitch in front of a lot of buyers, and so our days on market. So I see 20 days, I always go, that means there's a lot of houses that potentially are out there with longer days. But something I'm interested in, Joe, in, you probably also seen this number, the days to close is really kind of short, 28 days. I mean, back in the battle days, it was not uncommon for me to tell people, hey, it might take us 40 days to get the lending, to get their act together, but it's kind of interesting how that number's closed.
Yeah, I think that's interesting too, because, even a year ago, we would tell people, 30 to 45 days, figure on that for closing. And in fact, I was told by a lender today that, put 20 days, like, oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah. And again, everybody look at how Joe looked at when he was told that. It's like, what? 20 days? Are you sure you can do that? Because back in the battle days, it was twice that number. And you're kind of sitting there going, what has changed in the system that they all of a sudden can cough those up so quick? Yeah. So things are happening. So how many months on inventory we got?
We got 0.3 months of inventory.
Still that means what to me?
That means that there's not that many active listings out there.
Right. If we stop looking at listings in general, what we know is that in less than a month, if we didn't put anything on the market, everything would be sold.
Yep.
Which is kind of, so back to, is that a seller's market or a buyer's market?
Definitely a seller's market.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's crazy seller's market. I'm trying to prepare my sellers because the day is coming where that number might be 2 or 3 months. I think you, in my world, as a listing agent, I want to have conversations with sellers of, hey, your pool of buyers is shrinking, and therefore it's going to take us longer to find the buyers. So that number, but even if we have a 2 there, or 3 there, or 4 there, who's still in control of the situation? Sellers. What does that mean to buyers of 0.3?
Well, it means that, we might be looking a little bit longer than you might expect to get into a house. That's the big thing. And just knowing that there's so much competition in the price distribution, especially if you're in the 200 to 300 range, having that expectation of, sitting, looking at houses much longer than you might think and sending more offers than you might think. And of course, that all depends on, how strong your offer might be, how hard we're hitting the pavement, and a lot of factors kind of go into that. But, even a year and a half ago, we could on any given day go and look at 10 or 15 houses. Now it's like in the Killeen area, maybe 3 or 4 if you're lucky.
What about, and let's kind of broaden this. I don't know, we should probably talk about it in the Temple video, but what would Temple look like?
Temple, I feel like is a little bit harder too. I think there's less houses that are for sale over there and more people wanting to be over there.
Right. Okay, well, Joe, I really appreciate your time and sharing with us on this. If someone wanted to talk to you about real estate, how can they reach out to you?
You can call or text and email anytime. My phone number is 360-991-1459. And my email is joe@i35group.com.
There you go. And I am Bill Vernon, and you can reach out to me at 254-495-5661. And Bill, if you haven't figured it out, it's always the first name of the team member. Bill at i35group.com will get your email to us. Hey, Joe, if somebody wanted to know about how much their house is for sale, would you be okay? Hey, but you know what, Joe? I'm not really thinking of selling. Probably not going to sell until my daughter, who's a freshman in high school, graduates. Would you still talk to me?
Oh yeah, definitely. I love to chat about, on the buy side and the sell side. We can do it all.
What would you do? Would you send me info on a pretty regular basis?
Oh yeah. Definitely send you info, send you, all sorts of stuff, and really want to come up with a game plan for you. Even if you're not buying or selling right now, we can still come up with a game plan for the future.
There you go. And that's very important, people, is right now, you don't be bashful. We're not used car salesmen. We're real estate professionals. And we don't mind sending you information about it's all local. So for instance, we're just talking about Killeen, but if I wanted to know about, name a subdivision. You're Mr. Subdivision.
Let's put me on the spot here. West Ridge.
Okay. West Ridge. Yes. Yeah. So if you're in West Ridge, I wonder who lives there. If you're in West Ridge and you want to know about what's going on in that subdivision, Joe, what would you do?
Well, I could send CMA. That means, what houses are selling for in that neighborhood. And yeah, kind of go from there. And we'll send you all about how to get your house sold and all that. So tons of information are ready for you.
There you go. Well, Joe, I appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Yep. Talk to you soon.
Bye there.
Okay. Bye-bye.